Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Doing It 365. This is the podcast where I highlight the prominent as well as up and coming entities from within the Afro Caribbean space, both locally here in the UK and abroad. And my guest today is a soca artist. They describe her as the sweetness in the soca right now, the sweetness in the sauce, the soca sweetheart. ItsRae. Welcome, welcome to the Doing It 365 podcast. How are you?
I am well, no complaints, thank goodness. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm a little bit drenched from the rain over the
Mhm.
last week, but we give thanks. We're
Yeah.
here. Where are you now? In Trinidad or are you in the States? How is the weather like over there where you are?
I'm in the States right now and it's hot. So I think today we like pushing 80 degrees. Today's a good
Mm.
week. It doesn't know when it wanna be good or when it wanna be bad. It does just hit you with everything. Today is 80, tomorrow might be 60, but we good today. Today hot.
All right, I love that. Folks, just want to remind you straight away to please share this video. It's where we're supporting the artists, we're pushing the ladies in this, we're pushing the up and coming talent. So share this video straight away and hit the notification bell so you can be alerted for the next episodes to come. This is Doing It 365 podcast. We're going to chat to Ray and find out more about her and her journey. So, Ray, talk to us. What got you into the music and who inspired you to, get into music?
Well, for me, I was always into the music from since I was small. Soca is my culture, that's where I come from. That's what we do. That's what it's about. But in terms of who really inspired me to say I want to pursue soca, I would have to say it was Patrice. Like I could remember the club I was in when I saw her perform, and I was like, but wait, I was like, she's sing like she could sing. Like, wait, I could
Mm-hmm.
do that, because I always love soca in terms of being on the side of the feter. In terms of pursuing a musical career, that's not something that I envisioned or actually thought of like since I was small. But it was in that moment that I was like, nah, I could blend my craft. I could have my craft and my culture and do this after seeing, Patrice on the stage. So big shout outs to Patrice because that is who I would have to say got me like,
Big up,
okay,
big up.
yeah,
I love that. I love that. And Patrice has been having such a fantastic run in the last 3, 4 years, and that it's really good to see that she's inspiring and uplifting the next generation.
yeah.
So that's really cool and dope. What age were you when you said you wrote your first song?
But I don't consider myself a songwriter. So I'll put that out there like immediately. But in terms of maybe when I first ever sat down and was like, let me write my own words to a song and go and record it and stuff like that, I would have had to been in high school. That was maybe like 15 or somewhere around, so that I was like, okay, my friends always knew I could sing, so they would be like, all right, Ray, look, I have this beat, my brother's a rapper, like, sing on this. And I
Mm.
didn't have anybody to say, okay, well, oh, somebody write this for me. Like my brain didn't even know that that's really how the process worked. So I would just sit down with a pen and a paper and try my best to what I thought was cool. And I would just go and record it and go from there.
I love that. I love that. So genuine, so pure, and it also comes through in your music because I can hear the R&B, the
Yeah.
that fusion, and it's so nice and melodic, as they like to
Mhm.
say. So that's really dope to see that you're able to almost push forward that soca fusion that we're hearing and we're seeing more and more and more, which is good for the genre, and also
Yeah.
again it helps to test the artist's creativity. One thing I always like to ask up and coming artists and establishing artists like yourself now, what does soca mean to you?
Hmm. I think it's very difficult to put the feeling of soca into words because to me that's really what it is a feeling. It's like a level of pride, a level of like euphoria, a level of freedom. So I can't really identify in like a sentence what soca is, but I could tell you what soca makes me feel. And when I hear soca, and again, this is even before becoming an artist, this is like a feta. Like I would come home and get back on a plane in tears because it's like the environment, the music, the energy. you can't find that everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what soca does to me. To me, it gives you this ability to really express yourself, but feel the love at the same time. Feel that blessing of the culture just all combined into one. So is I think soca is just an amazing genre that the world needs to know and feel.
With that being said, and that's a beautiful summary. I have to agree. It is. It's not to sound cliche,
Yeah,
but every genre is a feeling. But
yeah,
there's something very particular about
yeah.
soul that you can only really feel when you're in a fete, and then even more so when you're in a carnival. And like for
Hmm.
example, you mentioned earlier, you said when you saw Patrice perform, that's what really gave you the motivation, the drive, the desire to say, you know what, I can sing a note, and I love my culture too. So let me put them all together
Combined. Yeah,
and combine it. And what are some of your favorite carnival moments? Because obviously you were a fetter before you were a performer, a
yeah.
musician, an artist. So what have been some of your favorite moments or favorite carnivals where you can say, you know what, yes, this is the space I want to be in. This is the space that really harnesses my creativity.
Yeah. That's a good question. I feel like Juve is definitely one. Like Juve, you get the wildness, you get the, you get the hype, you get the real hype to me out of carnival. But at the same time, and I hope people don't kill me for this. It's like I know everybody really, really loves Juve, but for me, is the actual fetes during Carnival that to me are usually the most memorable times. No, and that goes on both sides, right? So originally it was the fetes for me as the fetter, like standing
Mm-hmm.
up and watching the other artists perform, and I standing up on a cooler and I just freeing up myself and I'm having a good time. Like those are like it good when you had this like start to stand up on top of the cooler and you're having
Mm-hmm.
a good time. But no, as a performer, again, it's like the fets, that's really, really where you're getting the opportunities now to hit the stage and to see people vibing. And 2020 Carnival like will forever go down in history as like one of, I guess, the most memorable moments for me, because that is when I first took to the stage for a carnival season, and it was an amazing run. Like even to be a new artist, and let's say I went up and I sang Work It and see people singing the words to Work It, and it's like I don't know who's more shocked. Like I don't know if it's the people or if it's me, because I want
Yeah,
this singing it and I'm like, yo, I'm seeing this, like I'm in my head and I'm like, the girl singing the words. So
it's special.
yeah, the last one has to be the most memorable because I got to combine the two things. I got to combine still enjoying some fets, not as much as I would have liked to because work had to get done, but
Mm-hmm.
also as the performer. So I'm sure there'll be ones to top it, but 2020 had to have
20.
like been the icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. And do you know what is it's so funny because I should have been there 2020. I should have been there 2018. I should have been there 2016. So now I'm just like, you know what? Whatever
2022.
will be. Because right now, if it miss me again, something wrong. Something wrong. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to St. Lucia. I've been to Grenada. I've been to Barbados. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Miami. I've been to all of the European carnivals. And here I am now missing the Mecca.
Yeah, you
But
had you
it's
had it. You had
beautiful.
to make that happen.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful. So how do you now do you feel then when you're a fetter and you now become a performer, an artist, a musician, do you feel like that aids in your creativity because you know what you want to hear? You know what you like, you know what you feel when you see the bands, when you see the guitarists, you see the Kesses and the Patrices and the Denise Belfons and the Nadia Batsins and so on going on stage and working that stage. As a fetter before, do you think that aids in your creativity?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because there's been numerous occasions where Daryl and I have had conversations where, we're going back on a song and I'm like, I know when I was there, this is what I wanted to hear, or this is what would have sent me off. Like, this is what would have made me just start to get on. And, so even in that aspect, it's like being able to know what did it for me. No, I could apply that and be like, yeah, I know they like when they get some instructions, or I know they like when they, just different things. Or like Daryl will always say, like, you need that sing along moment where you could just open your hand free up on the road and sing it out loud. So definitely, I would say being a fetter first aids in being a performer.
That's without a doubt. And shouts out Daryl. And obviously, people are wondering who's Daryl. Daryl
Oh
is your
yes,
manager
yes.
from Gervais Music. So shout out, shout out. But we're definitely going to get onto the importance of having good management in a few minutes. But
Yeah.
let's continue on that creative process.
Hmm.
You currently have quite a few songs in heavy rotation,
Hmm.
both regionally and abroad. Because I'm hearing it on the radio here in the UK. I'm seeing it. People are playing it. It's popping up on all the streaming platforms. How is that creative process like for you in the studio? How does Ray create the magic? Are you a person that writes at home and then goes to studio, or do you have to be in the studio?
So, as far as all these songs that are out right now, they were all written because Daryl is also a songwriter. Um, they were all written by him. What we try to do now is we have a back and forth thing that goes on between him and myself. So it will be like he get a rhythm, or I get a rhythm, like for example, with the most recent one, and it'll be like, well, Ray, what are you hearing on this? And I'd be like, oh, I feel like this is what it's saying. Like this is the kind of vibe I wanted to portray. So I will give him like my sentiments, and he will put my sentiments into words, and we go back and forth like for whole day, for example. Like he's like, what you want to say, like, we knew from the time we heard the rhythm. I was like, yo, I want something that's like give me like, I can't wait till I get back outside, and we would go back and forth, and he's like, so what else you want to say? And I'm like, well, I don't want to sound superficial or nothing like that, but I'm so tired of these masks, like nobody's seeing my face, like not to sound conceited or anything like that. But it's like you're doing your makeup, then you have to slap on these masks. And then if you take off your mask, your makeup mess up underneath. And he kind of just took exactly what it is I was feeling and what it is I want to say. And he put that into like perfection, like perfect words. And that's kind of how, for the most part, we do a lot of it. Some will be that he just got it. It had a deadline. He did what he does. I got it. And I was like, wow, love it. But what we try to do is, because I want to be as involved in the creative process as humanly possible. I don't want to be the artist that just get songs and sing the songs. I want
Mhm.
whatever I get to be a reflection of me. I want it to be that this is either Ray's concept, this is Ray's feelings, this is Ray's thoughts. Even if I can't exactly put it into the words, I want to feel like when I'm upstage, when I'm on stage and I'm singing that, is because I felt it, is because I thought it, is because sometimes I'll just message him randomly. We have nothing that's happening in the moment in terms of a project, and I'll be like, concept, want to do this. And then when we happen to get a beat that might fit that concept well, we apply it to that. So it is a give and a take, but kudos to him once again, because he definitely comes through with the, with the lyrics.
Right now, yeah, podcast done. Thank you very much. Big up. It's been amazing. This is what we need to hear. This is what we need to hear. The manager's wearing many hats and
Yes.
doing it well. So, Daryl, if you're watching this, big up yourself. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, everybody watching this now, take a moment and share this. Send this to Daryl and
Yeah.
say thank you. Thank you for helping give us the next mega star in soca. It's Ray. This is Doing the 365 podcast. I would like to remind you all watching to please take a moment. If you like what you're hearing, give us a thumbs up. If you like what you're hearing even more, share it with somebody else that's also a soca lover, or they're a fan or friend or family of Ray, or of Daryl, or of me, because it's all about oneness and unity. Let's get into now more about Ray and her connecting and navigating in the industry. Are there any artists who have, given you a supporting hand along the way so far? Because you're still relatively young and new to the scene. So how are you finding that?
um I think that there's been a lot of people. I think overall the support in general has been amazing. You hear a lot of things when you're going in, like, oh, it's hard. And I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not telling anybody it's not work and it's not hard, but I will have to say that I have been so beyond blessed for the level of support that I have gotten within the industry. I mean, off the rip, Dev was like very, very willing and ready to help me out in any way that he could. We were both on the Totin Rhythm. Big up to Moto as well, and Team Fox with the Totin Rhythm. Even in that aspect, Moto is the one who gave me literally my first shot to be on a rhythm with amazing seasoned artists. You know what I'm saying? So off the rip, that was a level of support right there. And then Deb was always willing to let me run on stage, touch stage if he was performing, because it was very easy to bring me in. College boy Jesse, same thing. Like College Boy Jesse was, there was never a hesitation in his soul when it came to giving me an opportunity to run on stage with him. And then that formulated friendships and just relationships building and getting to know people well. And I mean, even as far as the producers and things like that, between the level of the connection with Daryl and between them just being supportive to me, whether it's because of him or because they see something, all those opportunities, all those songs that I have, you know what I'm saying? That couldn't happen if the people in the industry didn't either see something or felt like they would benefit some way, somehow from putting, because to me, it's not going to work where they're just like, okay, fine, you know, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have it on. They either have to see something within you as well, or it also benefits them some way or one way or the other, whether it's like, oh, they're bringing a female on, is a good look, whatever the case may be. And I have been grateful for all of the above, whichever the reason has been. I've definitely felt love and support within the soca community.
Big up, big up. And do you know why it's so refreshing to hear this? Because oftentimes you hear and you see artists talk about the struggle and the breaking into the industry, cementing their feet in and establishing themselves. And here you are telling us that as a woman, there are not many of you, and we need more of you in the seat. So shout out to all women that are up and coming as well and that are already established.
Yeah.
But we also see and hear that your peers are doing things, not just the artists, for a thing of, oh yeah, here's the cliche factor, yes, it's a woman, but you know what? I see the ability, I see the talent, I see what can be, and that's so refreshing and beautiful to hear. And I'm hoping any other artists that are watching this continue to support the other artists in the field and in the space, and we all can grow together and we all can push each other to really take the genre to the next level, because carnival is not just woman.
Yeah.
Soca is woman, the culture is woman, and it's so necessary for that to be a norm. What were they saying? You know what? You have
Right.
talent, come true.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's drive. Let's move. You've mentioned Daryl a lot.
Mhm.
Let's speak about Daryl now. How
Yes.
did you meet Daryl? How did you say, you know what? You need to be my manager. I'm happy for you to be my manager and also the co-creative in my artistry.
Yeah. So Daryl is one of my cousin's best friends. And when I woke up one day and made the decision that I was like, nah, stop playing games, Ray. Like, you need to do this. You need to stop making excuses and you need to jump on it. I reached out to my cousin because he's always raving about Daryl. Oh, my friend, he write for Cass and da 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 da. Like always, always, always. But my brain, I guess, really never clicked to say, oh, there's somebody that I could talk to, because I guess I wasn't ready yet, to be honest. And one day when I woke up, I was like, I'm ready. I was like, I reached out to my cousin and I said, listen, do you mind messaging Daryl and see if he'd be willing to just take a call with me? And it was never with the intent to be like, hey, I heard this is what you do. Can you be my manager or anything? I wasn't looking for any handouts. Like, that was never my goal. My goal really and truly was to just get advice from somebody that was within the industry that could tell me, okay, how do they recommend I move forward? If this is a career path I want to choose, where do I start? Who do I reach out to? What do I do? I wasn't even asking for links to like, oh, put me onto this, nothing like that whatsoever, right? But I would say that our personalities kind of like clicked immediately, and the conversation kind of led to me needing a song, and he writes in Mikes, and but when it reached that route now, he's like, well, look, I'm not putting my neck on the block for nobody, like I had to know you could sing. If you can't sing, then this can't really happen. So
Right.
right then and there, I sang for him, and he was like, all right, now you have it. And then from there, the process started with him looking for beats that he could send me, knowing that he would be the one to write my first song, right? Like, we knew that once we had that conversation that this is where this was going to go. But that's really where it was meant to go. And then in doing it, I guess maybe because of the relationship he had with my cousin, he never just wrote the song and hit the door. Like, that was never what he did. Any questions I asked, he was always willing and ready to answer the questions and help me in any way that he could. And that's really what it became. So as a joke, I would always be like, manager Daryl, manager Daryl, manager Daryl. But it would just be a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing a lot and he's helping a lot. And then it was when I came to do radio runs in Trinidad, right? That I think one of the PR people said to him, like, I think you should manage Ray, like I feel like she does just soak up everything and da 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 da. And so I kept making a joke. I'm like, well, listen, I just done say manager Daryl. You're done kind of functioning like a manager. So if other people saying it too, I'm just saying maybe it's meant to happen. But he was still reluctant. He was still giving me the nah, girl, I don't have enough time. Like like he didn't want to misrepresent me, and it's something that I
Mm,
would always appreciate and be grateful for. So he was very upfront in he just didn't know if as a full-time songwriter is that something that he could even facilitate. So it wasn't until he came with me to one of the radio interviews that he called himself my manager on the interview. And once he did that, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. I was like, that's it. I was
yeah.
like, you said it to the public. Like, I didn't even do it. I didn't even say it. You said it to the public. I was like, so what are you going to do? Back out? Like, you can't change your mind now.
Mm,
And that is really how I guess we formally made the decision to say, okay, that's what this is going to be. But we knew that it was a new journey for the both of us. And we kind of made that decision that we were willing to both learn from it and understand that it was a new process for the both of us. And I'm like the micromanager. He probably does get so annoyed because I just be like,
mm.
like what's next? Did you hit this person up? Did you follow up with this? And he
But
does it
that's
all on
good.
yeah, he does it all on his own, right? And it always turns around to be like, yes, like I did this already, or I did this just yesterday. But because I like to be so involved, and know what's going on at all times, I'm like the little micromanager behind him. So he does an amazing job, and honestly, I wouldn't be able to function without him. Like he literally, like we said earlier, he wears many hats. He's the person that kind of snaps him back to reality when it's like my brain is going on 100, and I'm like, no, this had to happen. Like we standing too still. Like we need to be busy. We need to do this. We need to do. He's the one
Mm.
that's like, yo, breathe. Like take a breath, calm down. So he's manager, he's friend, he's songwriter. He's literally just an amazing individual, just all around. So big up yourself, Daryl.
Once again, I forgive the managers their flowers because it's not easy to
Yeah,
really do what they do and to wear so many hats and to wear them so well. And it sounds like, and it's also good to hear that he took his time. It wasn't a rush decision.
yeah,
He wants the best for you. So I can already tell, I can already see that we're gonna see and hear more of Ray going
definitely.
forward. Speak to us now about where would you like to perform once this is all settled and you can fly anywhere.
Mhm.
Where do you want to perform first, and what song is going to be the intro song?
Okay, so I'm very biased for this question because Trinidad is not just the Mecca, it's also my home. So if I had the opportunity, I would definitely say that would be the first place I would have a touchdown. That's like killing multiple birds with one stone for me. That's seeing family, that's seeing friends, that's being able to perform where the groundwork is almost the most important. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I don't think I've even stayed out of Trinidad for this long ever. So it's just by bias, I would just say Trinidad first, and definitely I open it with Whole Day. Like that's not even a thought in my one time coming out with Whole Day. But if I wasn't being biased, I would say it would have to be England. I've I feel like we've been making a lot of connections there, and I feel like you guys been showing like just so much love. Like I am so appreciative, and I mean from the jump, I feel like I have been getting love, and it's only right that that would be the next place that I touch down because you give back to who you feel is also giving you the love at the same time. And same thing, I would open up with Whole Day, but yeah, if it wasn't Trinidad, I think the UK would had to see
Okay,
Ray
let's see.
first.
We're ready. We're ready. The UK people, the UK soca scene is ready for all the artists, all the talent because we've been deprived the most. Some of
Yeah,
the islands have been able to do their fets and some even do a little carnival. America seems to be just business as usual. So England is here sitting down like, hold on, really? Is that what's going on out here? We can't get a little something, something. So
yeah,
it's gonna be. I'm ecstatic to see, the acts from overseas come over and work with the UK soca acts. So the Terradans, the Sandivas, the Divines, the Miss Desires,
Mm.
the Trini Boy Juices, the Merseys, the Batches, the Chanels, and so on and so forth, and just grow and elevate and push it on a global scale, because there's so many people that love and appreciate this music, this genre, this culture, this movement, that it's not just for carnival time,
Yeah.
as you said before. So that is going to be dope. Let's quickly speak on your most recent project
Mm-hmm.
on the Lavayan rhythm, produced by DJ Shaker HD. Big up the
Mm-hmm.
Soca Frenzy family man each and every time. How did you and Daryl sit down and create that? Cause that's a nice little,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, it's a little sweetness, it's
Yeah.
the little the sexiness, and I feel like it's so good to have, because sometimes we try to, or people try to pin down how women should express their musical creativity, but no, let women them be themselves and be feminine in their delivery. So talk to me more about that very recent project.
So when Shaker sent the beat, when he sent the rhythm, I like immediately liked it. I was like, okay, I need to send this over to Daryl one time. So as per usual, we do our normal, what you hearing on this? And I was like, well, one, I definitely want something to give you like some instructions at some point, because they hear and they dance hall kind of vibe in the rhythm as well. And I'm like, this would be the perfect opportunity to bring a summer vibe to it, and at the same time give the ladies like something to do again, because of that same idea as before. It's like, I know for myself, like when I hear, as a female, when you start to hear instructions, sometimes it don't even matter what the song's saying, right? You just want to do what the song's saying. So I definitely felt like I was hearing a piece where instructions could have gone in. On top of that, I was like, I hearing like a real sweet like wine up in the corner, like you're giving the man the best wine, like that kind of vibe, right? And as per usual, Daryl heard my thoughts, and he literally just delivered. And he knows, see, that's the benefit too of having an artist that took the time to know you as an individual, right? So he's already observed me in so many different settings, between performing, between being in fets, where he can kind of write for exactly what I would be doing. So it's like, I can't dance, I can't wind up without screwing up my face, and like it's full emotions and full everything in it. So it's like when that song came, it's like, oh wow, like this song is Ray. Like this literally is Ray. Like if Ray had to be described, it's like, listen to the song. It's my personality. It's everything. Like you wouldn't have been able to know that Ray. If you know me personally, you'd be like, nah, Ray had to write this. This is like literally Ray. But it's Daryl. It's Daryl just being amazing at what he does, and knowing his artists, and knowing how to facilitate that, and takes my thoughts and my sentiments into consideration. And and we didn't even have much time too, because when Shaker had messaged us at that point, I think the rhythm was set to release in like under 2 weeks. Now it did end up
Mm,
pushing back a week, but that was the time frame that we had to decide what kind of concept we wanted, get it recorded, have everything on Shaker end done, mix, master, all that other stuff. So it was a very short period of time, but we got it done. And Daryl don't play games. He be on it. So
hmm. I would love to hear it. I love to. This is what I love to hear. Fire, energy, enthusiasm, and
yeah,
yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that song on the big speaker then.
yeah,
Because one thing to hear it in the earbuds or the headphones, but you see when you in the fet now, you can really turn up our
exactly.
sound and you what? Woof. Hey, it's going to be a time. It's going to be sweetness. The waistline's gonna be distracting people. You
Yeah.
better can walk. You better know what you're doing. It's been so great. It's been so great. I love this. I love this. What else can we expect from Ray for 2021 and beyond?
Well, the work don't stop. We always working. I don't know any other way to be. Like I can't sit still. It bothers me to sit still. So we definitely have other stuff coming. We want to start working on putting out a body of work as well. So EP. Definitely want to work on a music video for the new release. So all those things are, putting into motion and coming soon. And then we had to start to release for 2022. Whether it is going to be a carnival or not is also
Mhm.
still part of the process. So that had to come as well. The goal is to not only release for carnival, but you can't not not released for Carnival at the same time, you know. So they just keep the music coming, keep the content coming, keep the consistency there, and you know, like we said before, out of sight, out of mind. So that's always my goal, to make sure I'm seen, but in the most represent the way that represents me the best. So I want to be
Yes.
seen, but staying true to who I am, and that's the goal to continue pushing forward.
Brilliant, 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 man. This is the Doing It 365 podcast. This is It's Ray giving us the insight, the juice, the spice, everything nice, and we're loving it. We can't wait to have you here in the UK, folks. Please, the links below. Follow her on Instagram, follow her on Twitter, follow Daryl on Instagram. Make sure you're streaming the music. Her recent releases will be there, and her link will be there, so you can stream all the songs, purchase the merch. She probably has some merch already. Don't itch, don't slack. Give the artists the support, give them the strength. We want to
Yeah.
push them and bring them through. And of course, don't forget to share, turn the notification bell, and comment. What song of Ray's do you love the most? What if you
Mm.
fetted with Ray? What song do you know really tells us about her? And what song can you wait to see her perform? Make sure you keep it right here on the Flax 365 YouTube page. We are out. Ray, thank you again for having me, giving me your time. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I know
Thank
you're
you for
busy,
having
man.
me. Thank you for having me as
And
well.
yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been great speaking to you. Take care, folks. We out. Peace.